Hello and welcome to today's pandemic update video for Thursday, July 28th, 2022. High levels of transmission remain across the entire country. Nearly 27% of the country is under high transmission or substantial transmission. Moderate to low only makes up about 2.5% of the transmission in this country. The BA.5 variant is the number one dominant variant in this country with 81.9% of the cases. BA.4 is 12.9% of the cases. BA.2.12.1 is 5%. And BA.2 is 0.3% of the cases. So BA.2 is almost completely gone. We added another good chunk of cases today. 138,540 cases added. The week over week is now rising again. It's now up 2.8%. So remember how I said I think we might have hit the height of the BA.5 wave? To some degree that's true, but now we're just bouncing around on the top. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're just going to bounce around on the top at a high level over 100,000 on every weekday. Every weekday I think it's going to remain at or around 100,000 with, Tuesdays and Wednesdays being the big dumps of the week, or the big reports of the week because of the weekly reportings of states. And I just don't see it dropping anytime soon. And in a few weeks, schools go back. So come later, second half of August, the northern states, like anywhere north of I-40, we'll just say I-40, okay? Could even say I-70, somewhere between there. Anywhere north of there is going to have a second wave with fall activity. And it's going to blow up. Eventually, the south will have another wave too. But for the south, that's going to be the BA.2.75 variant. The north will probably get a second BA.5 wave. And there are some places in the north, like you look at states like Vermont. Vermont really hasn't had a BA.5 wave yet. Their cases haven't exploded. You look at some of the northwest, hasn't really exploded yet. I think as we head later into August, that's when states like that will start to rise. And therefore, the overall national picture, yeah, it's going to drop some, but I don't think it's going to drop much. Deaths for today, 412 deaths. And again, I think as time goes on, this is right now when the deaths are usually lowest. Last year, from August on through the rest of the year, the deaths rose. And that's what's going to probably happen. Tests today, terrible. Not even 500,000 tests were added today. Hospitalizations, they rose again today, 44,231. That's up by 330. Currently in the ICU, we have 5,224. That's up by 105. I would show you the HHS dashboard. Let's see here. It hasn't been working. Mobile, it has been. Here on the computer, it hasn't been working. Now, it's going around saying data source error. Every once in a while, this happens. So again, looking at the national map, you can see here places like North Carolina, Nevada, Utah. Some places are still having significant rises in the BA.5 wave, but enough have leveled off that we're not really bouncing around much. Like you saw here, only up 2.8%, but if you recall, last week it was slightly down, so we're bouncing off the top. Let's go through a few states here. Texas, 12,946 cases today. That is up from yesterday. I think Texas, like I said, and have been saying, Texas has probably peaked, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to have a significant drop right away. I think it's going to take several weeks before we see that happen. Florida's just going to remain at high levels. Last year at this time, Florida was high. They didn't start dropping until like the third week in August. That's probably going to be what the case is with this, and who knows, it may last longer. BA.5 variant is super immune evasive, so it's anyone's guess here how long this is going to remain at high levels in the South. I mean, outdoor transmission is really a big ball game. The current levels of outdoor transmission, in my opinion, are equivalent to the indoor transmission of Wuhan 1.0 2020. That's where we're at now. It's super transmissible. And it may even be beyond that. It may even be up to alpha. Who knows? New York State, 7,500 new cases today. Illinois, 7,100 new cases. Ohio, this is a weekly total. And this is 12.3% higher than last week. 29,876 new cases today. New Jersey is just continuing to be higher and higher. 4,600 today. It's only up slightly week over week, but it's just a continuous, constant flow. New Jersey's basically doing a Puerto Rico. Remember how Puerto Rico's been high for month after month? New Jersey didn't really have an in-between the spring and summer. New Jersey dropped ever so slightly at the end of spring coming into summer, but then they just quickly went back up again. And as you see here, 4,600, and they're continuing to go higher. And that may continue for a while because Pennsylvania is just across the river, the Delaware River, and Pennsylvania is continuing to go up. New York's continuing to go up on the other side of Hudson, so not really much of a reason for New Jersey to drop because it's summertime. And what does New Jersey have? They have the New Jersey Shore where millions and millions of people go to vacation during the summer, which is a high source of transmission. Tennessee, 3,494 cases. Massachusetts, this is a weekly number, 11,075 cases. Virginia, 3,100 cases. Minnesota, that's a weekly number, 10,000 cases. Utah, weekly number, 5,800 cases. Oklahoma, 4,400 cases. And we'll just do a couple more here. New Mexico, 1,100. Nebraska, almost 1,200. And Puerto Rico, yet again, 2,761 cases. They are finally dropping slightly, but it's still around 2,700 cases for such a small island. That's not good. Walgreens, we did not get an update today, but the positivity nationally still is 37.1%. Coming here, taking a look at Texas. Hospitalizations are down slightly today, 3,649. Let's take a look at the positivity rate, 29.46%. So it's just bouncing around in the 29s now. But it is slowly starting to drop. And you can see that here on the chart. You can see it ever so slowly starting to drop. But look how long it took for it to rise. Started back in April, took all the way until middle of July. And the dropping process will probably be the same. It may not get as low as last time because eventually the BA.2, 0.75 wave is going to take over. New York State, as stated, 7,538 cases today. Positivity sits at 8.4% today. Taking a look at the New York State hospitalizations. And let's zoom this in a bit to give you a better look. Here you go. New York State hospitalizations, they have been going up. Today is ever so slightly lower than yesterday. Yesterday was 2,788. Today is 2,780. This is what has been happening. Tuesdays and Wednesdays they rise, then they flatten out for the rest of the week and they don't report on the weekend. Then it rises again on Tuesday and Wednesdays. We'll see how much longer that pattern holds week over week, and you can see it here clearly. It's been a distinct pattern that just keeps happening. Taking a look at worldometers, there we go, there's today. India, 16,990 cases. Brazil, 45,000 cases. France, 51,000 cases. France continuing to drop. Italy, 60,000 cases, continuing to drop. 199 deaths in Italy today, though. That's not good. South Korea, 88,000 cases, 25 deaths. Russia, 11,500 cases, 41 deaths. And then we come down to the country we've been watching every day. Japan, 207,236 new cases. It's really bad. And look here, the deaths are going higher. 122 deaths added today. Australia, the deaths are continuing to go up. They now have 11,512 deaths with 125 added today. So remember, that 11,512 deaths is a total from the whole pandemic. They have done like 40% of their pandemic total just in this wave, and they're only in the BA.5 wave. They have yet to do the BA.2.75 wave, and their hospitalizations are at record numbers right now. 46,558 cases added there today, slightly lower than last week, but again, their numbers are terrible. Mexico, 27,000 cases, and finally Taiwan, 23,971 cases. All right, quickly touching on the monkeypox outbreak. We are now worldwide over 21,488 cases. That's really bad. Today, slightly less cases were added than yesterday. 555, so that's actually a lot less. Yesterday, 1,619 were added for worldwide. United States added yet another 268 cases. Spain, only 17. Germany, 81. Netherlands, 60. Portugal, 45. Canada added 16 cases today. My daily reminders to you. Continue to mask and social distance. Avoid large gatherings. If you don't have to go to an event, don't do it. If someone's trying to peer pressure you into going, oh, it'll be fine, we're all vaccinated, we'll test, do this, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? That's not always the case. Breakthrough infections are happening. BA.5 is super immune evasive. Avoid those functions right now. Don't let your friends drag you into those events. If you're letting your friend drag you into an event where it's going to be maskless, unsafe, and unventilated, guess what? I'm going to say it. They're not your friend. They're wishing you to get disabled, and you don't want to do that. So, yep, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Oh, yeah, one other reminder. Wear your gloves when you're getting gas and getting groceries. So that's all I have for today, and please hit like and subscribe down below. Share these videos. We got to get the message out. And remember, we're all in this pandemic together until the end. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, everyone.